orchid feeding demystified. But oh, wait, orchids like mist. So shall we say watering before feeding debunked? Okay, all the clickbait done. Let's have a look into whether watering before feeding is essential to get healthy orchids. Welcome to the Nature Company. So we've all been told at some point or another, water your orchids right before feeding. Why do we need to do this? It's suggested to us that if we water before feeding, we're not going to get root tip burn. The salts aren't going to burn the roots, and we're not going to get salt buildup in the media. Yes, all of this sounds like wonderful, so let's do it. Let's water our plants before we feed every single time. Or do we really need to? Because it's going to take a lot of work and use up a lot of water. And are we wasting our fertilizer? Well, there's certain ways that you can look at it that might prove or disprove both ways of it. So if we're looking at the reasons that it's going to stop causing fertilizer buildup in your media, especially if you're using something like bark that's going to absorb a certain amount of the water as you're watering it. So the idea is that you'll then fill up your bark's ability to absorb water so that it's not going to pull in that water mixture with the fertilizer that will then congregate the mineral salts, which is the food, on the outside of the bark. That will leave that sort of white crystalline sort of coverage to the outside of the bark. And we all know that that's actually quite difficult to get rid of once you have it. You generally have to pull that bark off and replace it all, because often just by flushing, that is not flushed out. It becomes quite hard, and as I said, crystalline. It becomes little crystals on the surface of your bark. If you get it on things like lacquer and other inorganic media, what you can do is you can use really hot or boiling water to soak it in, and that will help remove those excess salts, and then you can use it again. But organic media such as bark, it's best just to throw it away and use a fresh bark. So we can see how wetting your media first is going to help reduce the amount of salts that will then crystallize onto the outside of it. But what is it going to be doing for your orchid? Because if your bark has absorbed all the moisture it can and it's not going to bring in any of that food onto its surface, isn't the same going to happen to the roots? The orchid roots, aren't they going to be full already and not going to absorb any more moisture? Well, you're actually almost perfectly correct in thinking so, because orchid roots, in about the first 15 seconds of watering, they are almost just about full already. And after about a minute, that velamen is probably completely saturated. By watering first, you are filling up all that velamen with water already, and it's not going to allow space for any more absorption of water. So if you are feeding, what's going to happen is you're just going to be pouring your water on. The water is just going to pour straight through your pot, and you're not really doing anything for your orchid at all, because even though this is a completely inorganic media, it's going to act the same way as your bark will, because your bark's not absorbing any of that moisture any further. So the water is just going to run straight through and take all of that feed that you've so carefully put in the water with it. So you're going to land up with a bucket or a floor full of plant feed. And that's not really where we want it. We want it to actually feed our orchid itself. What you could be very possibly doing at the same point as pouring on that nutrient-laden water after you've watered is all those salts that are in that water may start drawing moisture out of the roots again. We all know that water is going to move from a lower salt concentration to a higher salt concentration to try and balance them out. So what that is then going to do, it's going to draw that water out of your roots and flush that straight down with it. So you're not really doing particularly any good for your plant. Perhaps you're taking out some of the extra water that you were trying to give it at the same time. Sphagnum moss, again, could also be problematic, because we all know how much moisture sphagnum moss will absorb. So generally your first wetting, even for a short wetting like that, it's generally holding enough water that will last the orchid long enough, and it will then allow it to draw up as much moisture as it needs. If you start giving it a second watering, you start oversaturating the media. And we all know what oversaturation of a media can do for an orchid. It reduces your air movement and could possibly cause rotting. So we want to try and avoid all of these things at the same time as trying to feed our orchid. And if we look at the way nature does it itself, what happens is in that first initial flush of rain that's bringing all the debris and nutrients and tannins down the trunk or the branches of the tree to your orchid is where the highest concentrations of nutrient are. Why are we then trying to wet our orchid roots first, when in nature what happens is they get that nutrient first in that first flush? Then again, in nature is not using synthetic chemicals to feed. So perhaps that's one of the reasons that people like to flush first. If we're going with organic, really, you don't need to at all. You're really not going to burn the roots in the same way as you are with your chemicals. So then if in nature, in that first flush of rain, when the orchid roots are dry, that's what brings all the nutrients to it, what do we then need to do? Is it then a good idea to feed first and then flush afterwards? That could be a way of getting rid of any excess salts, because the velamen does not allow for those nutrients to be pulled back out of it. It holds those charged ions in it without releasing them afterwards. So it works more as a magnet holding those ions in, so they're not going to be flushed out again if you are flushing your pot after feeding. But again, this might not necessarily be necessary if you're not using synthetic chemicals. If you're going organic, you may not need to flush your pot as frequently. So velamen has the ability to hold those nutrients. It's almost like a magnet holding those charged ions inside it so that they're not pulled out when the orchid is being flushed with fresh water again. So this helps if you are trying to remove excess salts from the media after feeding. Your orchid is going to take around 2 hours to absorb all of that moisture out of that velamen, whether it's got the food or whether it's just got the water. So what does this mean with regards to watering first before feeding, or feeding first and then flushing? If you want your orchid to absorb as much nutrient as possible, you might have to wait 15, 20 minutes, an hour before giving it that feed after watering. At least that way it's going to be absorbing some of that water and bringing in the nutrient with it. But understand, you may have to up the concentrations of your feed so that the orchid can get enough of it at that time, because your velamen is still going to be partly filled with your pure water that you had watered with earlier. With the flushing after feeding, you can flush it 2 or 3 minutes afterwards to get rid of any of those excess salts, because already the orchid has absorbed as much of that nutrient in that feeding that it needs. If you are looking to keep a percentage of nutrients in your pot, then rather don't flush once a month. And that way, if you're feeding properly in the right concentrations, you're really not going to get a buildup of salts in your media itself. Trying to grow the best orchids, we try and provide the orchid with as close to possible the same environmental conditions as what they get in nature, so that we can get the same sort of growth and flowering out of them. So surely we should do that in our feeding, to try and provide it with as close to possible the same feeding that it would get in nature. That's not to say the chemical way doesn't work, because sometimes the organic products can be smelly, although some of them now have almost 0 scent at all. It's a matter of what's going to suit you and how you work with your orchids. So there's no saying either way is particularly right or wrong. It's a matter of what you are doing to your orchids and the way you prefer to grow them to get the most out of them. And if you are battling to understand the intricacies of feeding and watering, please check out that Buy Me a Coffee link down below. Ed has put a lot of information on a lot of different topics down there, and a lot of that can help you out. And don't be shy, sign up and become a member and get access to all of that information. And thank you for watching. If you find any of this information helpful, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, and that notification bell, bing bong, to be notified of all our upcoming content so you don't miss out on a thing. Help us grow as we help your orchids grow.